Saturday Trifecta with Cape Racing,
including horse racing.
The Saturday Trifecta with Cape Racing.
Okay. Lots of horse racing in the offing, of course, next week. Easily and arguably one of the biggest races on the continent. The Cape Town Met gets underway. We've got some racing tomorrow, but in fact, let's do that. Let's talk about that now, as I'm joined on the line by horse racing journalist Mark van Deventer. Mark, good morning to you.
Morning, Jeremy. How are you doing?
I'm good, bud. Good to talk to you. And I don't want to disrespect the races taking place tomorrow in favor of the Cape Town Met, which is next weekend. So I won't do that. Let's talk a little bit about what's happening tomorrow. Talk to us about some of the races.
Yeah, look, I understand, Jeremy. The Cape Town Met is such a huge event.
Exactly,
it's a traditional thing that's been stretching back over 150 years in Cape Town. So that is going to be where the focus of attention is. But there's also racing on tomorrow at Kenilworth, and maybe the punters can build up a nice bankroll ahead of the big meeting next weekend.
Good idea.
And
I say that's a good idea, because they're going to need some cash for next weekend.
Yeah, that's for sure. And maybe dance till daylight in race 7 could be the solution. And that's the one that I would promote to beat Long White Cloud. That's in race 7 tomorrow at Kenilworth.
Okay. So there we go, folks.
And then also, Jeremy, in the 8th race, Mr. Master Starter should have a big chance, and maybe Gem King would be the danger. So if the Hearties follow those suggestions, maybe they can build up a kitty for the next weekend.
There we go. You're not going to need a lot of money to get in, folks. Let me just quickly tell you now, there's different sort of packages to get into the Cape Town Met. If you want to be all fancy, well, then you're going to need to save up some spare change. But literally tickets and access tickets from as little as 40 Rand if you're looking to get into to the Cape Town Met. And all you need to do is go to web tickets and have a look, see what those ticket options are. Okay, Mark. Cape Town Met, it's almost an entire package. It's not just a horse race. It is almost a social experience that has become so much part of the event landscape in the Cape. Talk to us a little bit about it.
Yeah, it's just fantastic that we can open things up again properly, because obviously during the lockdown there was a spell when there was no racing whatsoever. And then when we returned, it was on a limited access basis. But now things have been opened up. And as you mentioned, Jeremy, there's a great spread of hospitality options. So people can come in, just via general admission at $40 a person. They can get grandstand access at 100 Rand per person, and then obviously once they start tapping into more exclusive hospitality options, with picnics and after parties, or getting within the grandstand itself, then it becomes a little bit more expensive. But it will be a tremendous social spectacle. Obviously the racing itself is of the highest quality. There are 3 Grade 1 races, the Cape Flying Championships, the Majorca Stakes, and the World Sports Betting Cape Town Met. And there are also Grade 2 and Grade 3 races. So practically the best horses in Cape Town and from other parts of South Africa will be participating. So for the racing connoisseurs, it's also a real treat.
No, I tell you what, I can't wait. I'm sitting going to be there as well. And I know nothing about horse racing other than what I get schooled on by people such as yourself, Mark. But the fact is that there's a massive race there. It's not just the Met. There's a lot of support races. I think probably the best way to describe it is that. So maybe you want to give us a sense of how many races we've got on the day, and the fact is that you could win, in one of the supporting races as easily as you can win in the feature race for the Met as well.
Yeah, look, it's a very, very strong supporting card. There are 12 races in total. The first one is off at 12 noon, and then the last race is just before 7. So it really is a card laden with the most amazing stakes races. And for the Perde Koppe, Jeremy, there are going to be some massive world pools that people can bet into, because we're now linking with Hong Kong, and so they're going to be massive pick six pools up to 10 million rand. Obviously, pick six is a very difficult bet. The guys have to select 6 winners in succession. But if they get it right, and there's some weird results in the sequence, the pick sixes can literally pay millions of rand. So you've got that as a tempting bonanza to chase. And there are also going to be substantial quartets carry forward. That's like first, second, third, and fourth in the net. The pool could be up to 2 million. So from the horse race perspective, it's certainly one of the biggest temptations of the year. The quality of racing is absolutely outstanding, and it's just such a thrill for everybody at Cape Racing to be able to welcome fans, because that's really what underpins the sport, and to make it as broad-based and inclusive as possible.
Absolutely. Of course, Glam Garden, folks, for those of you who are messaging us now to go, isn't there supposed to be a theme for the Cape Town Met? There certainly is, Sir and Madam, who have messaged us. It's called Glam Garden, or rather that is the theme, that is the official theme to the Mother City's most celebrated and prestigious horse race event, the Cape Town Met. Of course, gets underway next Saturday out at the Kenilworth Racecourse, brought to you by World Sports Betting. It's going to be massive, as I say, not only from a horse racing perspective, although, as Mark was explaining, I tell you what, there's a lot of noughts behind some of the numbers he was talking about, and so maybe you want to pay a bit more attention to the various favorites there, because there's some big money to be won, but also, as I say, some massive entertainment on the cards, and just a stellar day's entertainment, not only from a fashion perspective and a horse racing perspective. It's just nice, as Mark was saying, just to get out there and to be able, for Cape Racing, to be able to welcome people inside Kenilworth Racecourse. We know that you can get tickets from Web Tickets. Mark, I guess before we let you go, and we're going to ask the person that we talk to next Saturday, but any horse or horses that stick out for you for the Cape Town Met as potential favorites. I mean, you don't have to pick one, you can pick a couple, but I mean, anybody that you particularly like the look of?
Jeremy, I think the 4 horses to hone in on would be Linebacker, and Comet Didun has also got an excellent chance, and Justin Snaith, the champion trainer, he was telling me after a recent workout gallop that Double Superlative is a freak, and also Jet Dark, who won the Queen's Plate so impressively, would be big runners. So those would be the 4 that I would probably focus on: Linebacker, Comet Didun, Double Superlative, and Jet Dark. But there are always a few lurkers, that can sneak into the money, like Marina, perhaps, is one, Hoodspray. So it's going to be a very, very competitive race. The betting market is quite open. It's not like there's a clear favourite. So it's going to be a fascinating showdown. Jeremy, just one thing to add,
yes,
please. Obviously, people will require valid vaccination cards and IDs, for access.
Absolutely.
We'll just make it much smoother if they've got that, and then they can get in without any dramas.
Absolutely, folks. Make a note of that. You're going to need to have a vaccine certificate or proof of vaccination, and then, of course, you're going to need your admission ticket. And then, of course, we look forward to seeing you out at Kenilworth Racecourse next week, and I cannot wait. As Mark was saying, so many horses in there with a chance. It's a full race card. It's a full day's entertainment, and I'm sure that the Cape Town weather will once again show off and make for a beautiful day's racing. Mark, listen, thanks very much for your time. Thanks for talking to us.
Total pleasure, and I look forward to catching up with you at the course next week.
Absolutely. You're going to have to give me some more tips for those other races, but look forward to seeing you then, Mark. Have a super Saturday.
Cheers, my man. All the best.
Cheers. There we go. Mark van Deventer from Cape Racing, just giving us some of the insights into, firstly, racing for tomorrow, but then most importantly, for the Cape Town Met for next Saturday.
That was the Saturday Trifecta with Cape Racing, only on Super Saturday.